Hi everybody, Elisa here with another Vera Bradley bag of the day. Today I thought I would do a French Paisley Friday haul video. Um, just to show some things in the French Paisley pattern, especially because there's the sale going on right now in case people are trying to decide if they want to order something. I thought I would show the pattern. People can get a sort of a live look at it. And so I have a couple of things, and hopefully I'll run through them pretty quick. This pattern was something they showed us in the Vera Bradley focus group that I'm in a long time ago, and in one of the pattern surveys. And I remember feeling like it was sort of overwhelmingly feminine. But when I saw it had birds on it, I was on board. But I do think, when I look at this, the first thing that comes to mind is lacy. I think it's very lacy looking because of all the detail work around the paisley shapes. It kind of reminds me of doilies, those paper. Well, if you had an Italian grandmother like me who crocheted, you saw real crochet doilies. But also those paper, doilies that you can buy that you put under cakes or whatever. This definitely reminds me of that kind of thing. You see all the frilly kind of detail work throughout the pattern. I think the palette here really saves this pattern from being too much because it is very busy, but the colors are subdued, even though there's a pretty bright cardinal on the tree right outside my window. Sorry. A little distracted. That background is sort of a deep purple, and every time I say that, I think of Donny Osmond and the Donny and Marie show. Dating myself, which I used to watch with my grandmother who crocheted doilies. So the background is a nice sort of mellow color. And the stuff on top, the detail work on top is very light, but not, doesn't have any it has a few colors that pop, but nothing too bright. And so I feel like the whole thing is soft. There are a couple of shades of teal and some pinks that do pop, and little touches of yellow. And I do like the lavender throughout. But it almost, when you hold it back, it almost has a sort of a white look to it, a lot of that detail work. Although when you look at it closer, some of it is white, like this rim here, like that stuff is white, with some very pale lavender accents in it. And that's sort of softening the white look. Like it would look brighter if it really were pure white. But if you hold it back, it does kind of have that sort of frilly, like white light look to it. But when you get closer, you see the complexity of the pastel colors in there. And this is the Vera tote, the regular size one. And I was pleased to see the side trim come back because I was a little worried since it wasn't in the last few pattern releases on the Vera tote. I was worried maybe it was gone for good, but it's back. And it's great because it's got birds in it. So I thought, well, this pattern isn't going to be a problem for pattern placement. Yeah, right. Famous last words, because I do tend to like to try to get something nice on the front pocket. The people know the Vera has the slip pocket with a zipper pocket on top, and this is nice with a plastic zipper that matches the color scheme now. But it's hard to find, like I was hoping to get this bird somewhere nice on here. I did get it down there. you know, but that's right at the curve to the bottom of the bag, almost hitting the bottom of the bag there. So this little yellow bird there. So it's also over there. But it was hard, you know, you're not going to always get birds where you want them, especially on the smaller items, and I'll show a few smaller items. So I was kind of feeling like I might not use this yet and just see if maybe I order another one, see if I can improve my pattern placement. I'm not sure if I'm going to need to do that anymore, but that was my initial feeling about this bag, this particular one. I did get some good birds here, especially I did manage to get my favorite bird in the pattern, which is this. Let's see if I can get him in there. There he is. This blue one. It was hard to get that one. I just realized he's also down here. I didn't notice that at first. I feel like you really need to sort of slow down, at least I do, slow down and look closely at this pattern for the pattern placement, because you may not realize how many birds you have at first. You sort of overlook them. This is a nice look at this interesting shape where you have the paisley and then this sort of burst on the end of it. Almost like looking at a constellation in the sky. So I feel like this is sort of a lucky strip of fabric to get on the front of the bag for the straps, because it has the pink bird with the open wings. You know, it's over there. So for people who aren't familiar, I won't do too much on this Vera tote because I do have a ton of videos on this and it gets kind of repetitive, but just real quick, it's got that hidden slip pocket up top, which is nice, and then inside it has 6 large slip pockets, generous slip pockets in there. I'll turn this inside out, see if I can turn this inside out real quick just to show the lining, which is also pretty. The lining is called French Ditsy. So the outside is French Paisley, the inside is French Ditsy. And people probably recognize it because it's been out for a little bit in masks and a few other items like a notebook and things like that. But it's, you know, it's another nice pattern with all the birds all over it. Very delicate. This, I would say, is like one of my maybe top 3 favorite mask patterns. I feel like this pattern is very delicate and looks nice in a mask. I don't feel like not all the patterns look good when you just sort of, you know, like slap them up on your face. And I feel like this one works well as a mask. Very pretty. And you can see the size of the slip pockets, you know, very big. So that's that. You better not be chewing on my stuff there, okay? Because you got toys up here. So I got this with sort of, ooh, let me show this. Look at this pretty part of the trim, which I didn't even really notice. So you have to really look at this spend a little time looking at this pattern because it has such pretty details. This trim is really, really pretty. There's this bright aqua there. And it's here too. That's a nice leaf right there. Seems to have just the 2 different birds in there. Pink, both pink. So that is that. And then was very pleased to see this bag. This is the coin purse. Oh, yeah, I can start with this. This is another thing that I was saying in a video recently. I was worried it might be going away, the coin purse. And I think it's a great little item. I love it, and I have a lot of them. I use this. And so this was, when I saw the bluebird in there, I said, okay, well, this is the one. But, you know, there were others that didn't have any birds on them. So, especially with the smaller items, it seems like that could be a real challenge. And this, you'll probably know, but just in case people are curious, inside there's sort of like a piece of fabric dividing the space into two sides. And there's also this elastic loop in there, which I would imagine you're supposed to put your chapstick in or something like that, but I don't use it for anything. I don't really like that feature. I don't need that feature. And also a Carson Cellphone Crossbody, again, hard to find birds. I did get this one, there's a little bird there, but there's a bird on the back. But it was when I saw the little blue one peeking out there right by the seam that I said, okay, I'll get this one. But again, you know, hard to, if you're looking for, like, I tend to look for that pink bird with the open wings, and, you know, couldn't find it. They didn't have that many. This is an item that I can try to put a link to another one of my videos, maybe the cat's meow one. I know I put it on in that video. I tend to just take the strap. People can see that the strap sort of threads through these two loops here. And it has a regular buckle. You can just undo the buckle and slip the strap off, and that's what I do. And then I just use this as extra protection around my phone, you know, in my bigger bag. But sometimes, you can see the lining here too. I guess when I remove the strap, which I will do, I'll have a bird there. Has this back slip pocket, and so sometimes I'll use this as a clutch, kind of like where I'm not taking a bag, and I'll stick my phone in there, and then I stick a zip ID in here. The zip ID fits in here, and you have to cram it in. It's sort of a tight fit, which is good because then it prevents it from just slipping out while you're carrying it. So you sort of cram it in there, which is easy to do when you have stuff in there, sort of helping it keep its shape. And I usually leave this key ring loop out, but you could just tuck it in. Yeah, you can just tuck it in. Yeah. So you can see it in there. And that works really well for me. I have carried it like this a number of times. So this is the zip ID. Got two birds there. Get two birds, kill two birds with one zip ID. They're on the front too. That's just very lucky that neither of them are too badly cut off. The same two birds. Same piece of fabric, just with the, you know, window cut out. And again, this has a dividing piece of fabric. People aren't familiar, so you can put your ID if you use it for ID. I use them for photos, but I probably wouldn't put my ID facing out there. And then the other side, just, you know, be your basic like slip section. Got that. And this was something I just, because of the birds, I couldn't resist. This is a wide lanyard. They seem to be making all these nice wide lanyards now, which is kind of a new thing. This one is not a breakaway. I've only seen one of them that's a breakaway. It's one of the woven ones. This is not a breakaway, but I just had to have the birds. And the name of this is, I think, also French Ditsy. I'm not sure. Yes, French Ditsy. So like the lining name. And this is just that strap material, like, it's not cotton, it's like would be on a packable tote, something like that. And it's very thin, it's very flexible, it's very soft. And why I like this is because it's printed on both sides, so there's no wrong side. I don't know if people have seen the one with the embroidered bees on it. That's a wide lanyard. That one, I took pictures. I'm not sure. I don't remember if I loaded them up on my Instagram. If I haven't, I'll load them up there. But I took pictures of that, the right side and the wrong side, so people could see, because in case they're curious about what the other side would look like, because it is the wrong side of the embroidery. So, when you would slip it on, part of whatever, one part of this is going to be the wrong side showing, I would imagine, at some point, because it's twisted. But I don't know if that bothers people. I mean, looks nice like this actually, but I'm probably not going to wear it like this. I probably will use it with some of my, to attach some of my zip IDs together that I use for photos. But again, just thought it was very pretty. Hard to resist the birds. Yeah. The color's coming out pretty good now, surprisingly, because it looks like it's about to rain. So that's nice. And then this is a wide loop key. Wait a minute. Let's get this right. Right. The wide loop keychain. There is a regular one that's a thinner strip of fabric, but this seems to be new, a new wider version. Got a bird there, the blue bird. I did notice a difference in that because people know that the basic, the original loop keychain, it has a snap there and you can unsnap it and loop it around something or thread something on it and then snap it back together. This doesn't have that. This is just, you know, sewn down. So that's a difference. And then you have these two pieces of hardware. You can remove the key ring one. I don't think you can't remove this. There's a lobster claw clasp that spins. So like that. I like the wider piece of fabric. It's softer. It's definitely softer than the thinner strips of fabric. So I like that. Talked about that. Then, of course, the free gift. Yeah, after you spend $1 gazillion, although I had coupons. So this is performance twill. This is, I didn't realize it was performance twill until I, got it. So I do like that, but it wasn't anything that really appealed to me. It wasn't an item that I really needed to have or anything, but I do like that it's performance twill. I like the feel of it, and I like the macro square quilting that you can see here. I do think this is kind of manly looking. It's Glen Plaid, basically. That plaid is a Glen Plaid. So, I look at that and I think of men in, beautifully tailored business suits. And I even think that the colors in the flowers look a little manly here. But it's an interesting item, and it is, it's fairly large. And it's what it's called. I think it's a on-the-go, right? RFID on-the-go wristlet. I think it's 9 by about 5.5. Yeah, 9 the long way, and oops. Yeah, 5.5. So 9 by 5.5. I want the puppy to get to that. And it's interesting. It has, it has this pleather wrist strap, which that's coming right off. Don't like the pleather, but I do like the ribbon pulls, which are grosgrain ribbon, which is nice. And then it has this zipper on what would be like the spine edge of it. And it has this section that's sort of divided. And that divider thing is sort of a result of the way this is constructed, so that the other zipper section is a zip around section, and so the thing lies flat, which is nice. And so this in here is sort of, the back of these, this fold. But it's nice because it gives you that extra sort of another organizational option in there. And, because people are always, understandably curious. This is my iPhone 11. And it slips right in there, and with room to spare, you can see. So I would imagine, even people with a bigger phone, that's going to slip in there. Sorry. That would slip in there, And inside, there's a fabric. Look at the fabric. Again, I do feel like this is a little masculine looking for me. The combination of the design and the color choices. There's a zipper pocket here, which is gusseted on one end. And that was something I thought, oh, well, my phone will fit in there for sure. So I put my phone in there, and it looks like it's going to fit. But I couldn't close it. I mean, in order for me to close this zipper, I really have to force it, and it's not worth it to me. I might scratch my, phone case or bust the zipper maybe. I don't know. It's not worth it to me there, so I'm not going to use it for that. But it does, fit here, one of the bill slip pockets. But again, with a lot of, room to spare. There's room up top. So maybe someone with a taller phone, would still accommodate that. Yeah. So there's 3 of those sort of bill, slip pocket areas. And then there's the window, the ID window with a, hole cut out of the plastic. And then I think 5, card slots there. Again, RFID, it's stamped with the RFID protection there. So it's a nice little item. And I really do like the performance tool. The feel of the performance tool is very nice. Oh, it's upside down. I think that the label is that way. Oh, oops, sorry. So yeah, so I got that, and then, I couldn't resist getting this. This is the Tote. This is just called Tote Bag, and this style, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've heard people saying they've gotten confirmation from Vera that this style is being retired, which I think is a shame because it's a nice in-between size between the Vera and the small Vera. Hold on. The humongous Vera, which should be its official name. The humongous Vera, and then this is a nice medium size, a tote bag, and then there's the small Vera, which is too small for me. And I do have a video, I'll try to find it and put a link, where I compare all 3. The regular Vera, this tote bag, and the small Vera. This isn't my absolute favorite tote because it doesn't have a zipper up top. The closure is a magnetic snap closure, which you can see there. But since we're like social distancing now, and everyone has to stay 6 feet away, which is great. When this whole thing is over, I still want people to stay 6 feet away from me. Thank you very much. But because of that, I don't feel so worried about people trying to slip their hand in my bag. But that was the one thing about this tote that I'm not crazy about. But it is a really great size, so I'm sorry to see it go. But people have been saying that I heard chatter that this was available through independent retailers, like Hallmark and other places that get some Vera in. And so I went running to my Hallmark, and I was pleased to see that they even had stuff in this pattern because they haven't gotten Bon Bon Medallion or Itsy Ditsy, although they did get some Harry Potter, which I was happy about, just to see that Vera is sending them stuff. So it's encouraging that maybe they'll, they feel that their Vera is selling well there and the store will stay open. But anyway, this is the only one they had. They only seem to be getting like one of each style in of the stuff that they were shipped. But because I really like the birds in this one, I'm feeling a little bit more content with the Vera. I feel like I probably won't. I don't feel so compelled now, like I need to try to order another one and compare pattern placement. Because here I got the bird, the pink bird, but also got the blue bird there, which was important to me. And there's also a cute bird hanging upside down. Got that one. So it is getting a little dark here now. Sorry about that. I'll try to beat the weather. And another, where is it? Yeah, over there. Another blue bird. A pink bird. So even with a little bit lower light God, there's a big black dark cloud up there. The color's still looking good. So you can sort of see that it's the little pops of color, but they're not too bright. So it's nice. It's got just a nice soft feel to it. So I can, the dimensions of this, before I forget, I think are a little bit smaller. I think going across, like the Vera is about 17 across when it's flat like this, and 14 high. And the base was 6 this way. I think it's 6 by about 14 and a half, 15 this way, that base section. This, I think, was 15 across this way. I think it's 13 this way. Should check that. Strap drop is the same on both. It's 12 on both. Yeah, it's 13 top to bottom. So it's just a little bit more manageable size. Inside, only it doesn't have as many slip pockets and they're smaller. One side has 3 small slip pockets. You're not going to be able to really see them that well here, but one wall of the bag has 3 small slip pockets. They don't go down to the bottom of the bag. And the other side has another one of those small slip pockets and 2 sort of narrow, here it's on this side. Narrow, I think, yeah, sort of slots for pens, which I don't know if I'll ever use those, but, and it has a hidden exterior zipper pocket there. That's a nice feature. Not a huge pocket, it's my hand in there. It's about here, about halfway across the body of the bag. But it's a nice feature. So again, sorry to sort of see this one go. I'll put a couple of things in here and then I can put both bags on. People can just see the size difference. Just throw a couple of things in here. It's just my basic stuff, like my GPS pouch and pouch with some gloves and charger cords and my turn lock wallet just to give it some body. And that's enough. Oh, it looks very dark now. Yeah, it's very dark. So it's nice to sort of stand back and you can sort of appreciate the shapes, the bigger shapes of the Paisleys, when you're not focusing on the little details. But then you have, the humongous Vera. So you can see it's much sort of wider this way. It has a very square look. But this one has almost more of a north-south kind of rectangular look. Just a little more manageable looking. So it's kind of a shame if that, they really are gonna get rid of this and not replace it with anything. Although they do have a new tote style in the cotton that I did see, which is I think they're calling it the commuter tote, and it's very much like the work tote and the performance twill, which they don't seem to be making anymore. So the thing about it, that it doesn't have the trim. I did want the trim from the Vera, and it has a trolley sleeve on one side. But what was nice about that trolley sleeve on the work tote, if people have seen my work tote videos, is that trolley sleeve had a zipper on the bottom edge of it. And so it could double as a pocket, a slip pocket on the outside of your bag. And that I liked. This, on the commuter tote, it's just a trolley sleeve. Your arm goes through it all the way. So I'm not someone who's ever going to really use that feature as a trolley sleeve. So the fact that it could double on the work tote as a pocket was a big sell for me. The fact that it can't on the commuter tote is a turnoff for me because I don't really like the look of the trolley sleeve. It's just this added bulky piece of fabric on the back of the bag. But if people are interested in another shape bag, maybe that's why they're getting rid of this, because they're going to try that for a bit. But it's a shame. I think this is a nice sort of workhorse, kind of standard size tote, So I think that was everything. Yes. So now that I've gotten that pink bird there, and it's on the back at all? I don't even know if it's on the back of my Vera. Oh, just in the corner. But it probably will keep me from feeling like I need to replace this one, exchange this one. Wow, it really is about to storm now. Anyway, I hope people found that helpful, just to get a look before I lose all my light at the French Paisley, if anyone's interested in it. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you next time on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day.